They say when an elder warns you and you laugh, the world will teach you the same lesson, but with tears. This is the story of Adise, a girl raised in wisdom, but lost in the noise of the world. Before we begin, if you believe that the words of elders still carry power, click that like, subscribe, and comment below. This how it's all begin. The village of Obioma sat quietly at the edge of the forest, where palm trees swayed and red dust kissed bare feet. In that peaceful place lived Momankem, a kind old woman whose heart had known both loss and strength, and beside her was her granddaughter, Adise, a tall dark skin with a charming body shape. She was the only joy left from her children who had long returned to the earth. Adise's parents had died when she was a small child. Her father, a hunter, was lost to the forest one stormy evening. Her mother followed him months later, her body too weak to carry her grief. So Momankem took Adise in and raised her like the last flame of her bloodline. Their life was simple. They had little, but they had peace. They shared everything, stories, laughter, even silence. Each dawn, Adise would sweep the compound, fetch water from the stream, and pound yam with quiet grace. The neighbors often said, "That girl will bring her grandmother peace." And truly, she was a child of peace, soft-spoken, respectful, and always mindful of her steps. When she walked through the market, people greeted her with smiles. When she spoke, she bowed slightly, a sign of humility. Momankem often told her, "My daughter, a woman's beauty is not in her skin but in how her words rest in other people's hearts." They farmed small ridges of cassava and maize, sharing whatever harvest they had with those in need. At night, they sat under the moonlight as Momankem told her old tales of talking tortoises, tricksters, and the wisdom of patience. Adise would laugh and listen, resting her head on her grandmother's lap. "Peace," Momankem would say, "is not when you have plenty, but when what you have is enough." So when the letter of admission arrived, that Adise had gained entrance to a university far away in the city, the whole village rejoiced. Drummers beat the ogene, women ululated, and the old woman smiled through tears. But that night, as the fire crackled low, Momankem grew quiet. She looked at her granddaughter and said softly, "My child, when the road shines too early, it is because the rain is coming. The world will show you bright things, but not every light leads home." Adise smiled, thinking she understood, but she didn't. Not yet. The city was loud, bright lights, tall buildings, voices everywhere. Adise arrived with hope in her eyes and her grandmother's words in her heart. At first, she focused on her studies. She joined the fellowship group, avoided distractions, and stayed true to her roots. But as the months turned to years, temptation came softly. Her roommates mocked her simplicity. "Adise, stop being local. You're in the city now, enjoy life." One party became 2.1, innocent drink became many. Soon, Adise was swept up in a world she didn't understand. She met men who called her "my queen" and promised her the world. They gave her gifts, phones, and clothes, but each gift carried a piece of her peace away. She began skipping classes, chasing fleeting love, and laughing at the same wisdom she once lived by. One day, she stood before the mirror and barely recognized herself. The sparkle in her eyes was gone, replaced by something empty, but the road she had chosen was already deep. It began like a normal fever, a cough here, a weakness there, but soon, her body grew frail. Doctors whispered in corridors, her friends stopped visiting, and the men who once promised her the world stopped answering her calls. One cold night, she lay alone in her room, staring at the ceiling fan spinning slowly. Her body trembled, her breath shallow, and for the first time in years, she heard her grandmother's voice in her mind, when the road shines too early, it's because the rain is coming. Tears rolled down her cheeks. Mama, she whispered weakly, you warned me. I didn't listen. The next morning, she packed what was left of her belongings, just a few clothes and her broken pride, and took a bus home. The village looked smaller now, the red road, the huts, the laughter, all seemed far away from the girl she had become. When she walked into the compound, villagers stopped in silence. Mom Kem was pounding yam when she heard a faint voice, Mama, it's me. The pestle fell from her hands, she turned, and there was Adiz, thin, weak, her eyes swollen with tears. Mom Kem, Chinik. My daughter, what have they done to you? Adiz, sobbing, no, Mama, it's what I did to myself. You warned me, but I laughed. The old woman's eyes filled with tears as she ran to embrace her. She held her granddaughter tight, rocking her like a child. Sure. My daughter, the river may forget the stone that fell in it, but the stone will never forget the river. Life has taught you, but you are still my child. Mom Kem cleaned her up, nursed her, and prayed for her daily. Though Adiz's illness lingered, her spirit found peace again in her grandmother's presence. Months passed, Adiz grew weaker, but wiser. She began helping her grandmother at the farm when she could, speaking gently to every young girl who passed. My sisters, she would say, beauty fades, but wisdom stays. Don't let the world use you to learn the lesson you refuse to hear. Her illness remained, but her heart healed. Every evening, she and Mom Kem sat watching the sunset together. Adiz, Mama, thank you for forgiving me. Mom Kem, child, forgiveness is the last gift a mother gives before she leaves this world. You fell, but you came home, that's what matters. The young may run faster, but the old see farther. When elders speak, they do not talk to fill the air, they speak to fill your future. If you ignore wisdom today, regret will visit you tomorrow. So listen, my children, not every smile is love, not every light leads home. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment for more stories.